Good evening, hello and welcome to the Super Saturday debate with me, Anusha Soni. Let's begin with some latest news coming. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security was breached during his election rally in Karnataka's Davangere. The security was breached by a man who tried to turn towards the Prime Minister but was caught by the police just in time. But this is a security breach, a lapse that has happened. My colleague Harish with us on the broadcast. Harish, what transpired?
Well, the man is from Koppal. He's said to be a BJP supporter. The police now probing further. He will be booked as well. The police saying that they want to set an example. He had managed to breach the outer cordon of the security, and as he was heading towards the inner cordon that consists of SPG security, that's when he was stopped by ADGP of Karnataka, Alok Kumar, and officials of the SPG and taken away. But remember, this is the second such breach. We had seen a minor boy as well breaching the security when the Prime Minister was holding a roadshow in Hubli earlier in the year. This is the second one. So perhaps with the Prime Minister coming frequently for these election campaigns, especially in the run-up to the election, there will be all the more pressure on the Karnataka police to ensure that this doesn't repeat.
Harish, what exactly is the background of this person? With what intent did he attempt to breach the security protocol? Do we know any of those details?
Well, the police saying that he's a BJP supporter from Koppal, and as soon as he saw the Prime Minister, he got excited and breached the outer security cordon. Right now, they're saying they haven't found anything suspicious about him, but out of precaution and the SOP that's in place in such cases, the police are also verifying his background. But they are saying prima facie looks like a party supporter from Koppal who has breached this cordon, but they are saying he will be booked. There will be no leniency shown, just for the fact that a message should go out that any VVIP protectee, especially SPG protectee, can't be anybody can't go so close to the VVIP protectee.
Sure, and this is the security of the Prime Minister can't be taken lightly. Harish Upadhyay getting us all the details on that story. And now on to our focus today evening. The political storm after Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as a member of Lok Sabha continues to rage. Congress party plans a nationwide stir against the decision to disqualify their leader as an MP. Today, Mr. Gandhi broke his silence. He launched an all-out attack at the BJP, claiming that the central government is afraid of answering quote-unquote real questions, and hence institutions have been emasculated to convict and disqualify him. On the other hand, the BJP has stitched a political narrative whereby they term Gandhi's statements as anti-OBC because he attacked and defamed the Modi community. BJP claims the disqualification is automatic and backed by a Supreme Court judgment. While the rising political temperatures are a clear indicator of the battle lines drawn for 2024, there are a few aspects that clearly stand out in the story. First is the unfathomable delay by Mr. Gandhi to move a higher court despite the Congress party equipped with the best legal minds of the country. Second is the vote bank politics around the OBC issue that can be critical for the state of Karnataka, elections around the corner. And the third one, it's a million-dollar question whether Rahul Gandhi will be able to secure a stay on his conviction, because that's what his political future actually depends upon. Our focus.
मैं सच्चाई को देखता हूं, मुझे और किसी चीज में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। मैंने एक चिट्ठी लिखी, उस चिट्ठी का जवाब नहीं आया। दूसरी चिट्ठी लिखी, उस चिट्ठी का जवाब नहीं आया। और फिर उसके बाद आपने सबने देखा क्या हुआ। मैं पूछता जाऊंगा, मुझे कोई डर नहीं लगता इन लोगों से। और अगर ये सोचें कि मुझे डिस्क्वालीफाई करके, धमका के, जेल में डाल के मुझे बंद कर सकते, नहीं, मेरी वो हिस्ट्री नहीं है। मैं हिंदुस्तान के लोकतंत्र के लिए लड़ रहा हूं और मैं हिंदुस्तान के लोकतंत्र के लिए लड़ता रहूंगा।
बात हम स्पष्ट कहना चाहते हैं, इसलिए जो पूरा प्रकरण है आज का प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, ये सब कुछ एक सोची समझी रणनीति है कि राहुल गांधी को एक बलिदानी बताओ और कर्नाटका में इसका लाभ लो। या फिर तीसरी बात है, क्या कांग्रेस के अंदर कुछ अंदरूनी पॉलिटिक्स चल रही है?
राहुल गांधी सोचता है मेरा नाम सावरकर नहीं है, मेरा नाम गांधी है। गांधी किसी से माफी नहीं मांगता। और मैंने कहा, पार्लियामेंट हाउस में कहा कि भैया मुझे बोलने दीजिए ना, एक बार तो बोलने दीजिए।
राहुल गांधी को शर्म नहीं आती, करप्शन की बात करते हैं। राहुल गांधी जी भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में बेल पर है, पता है ना आप लोग को, उनको भी, और संसद में मैंने यह बात कही थी। नेशनल हेराल्ड के प्रकरण में इनकी माताजी बेल पर हैं, ये बेल पर हैं, क्योंकि मात्र कुछ लाख रुपए देकर नेशनल हेराल्ड की 5,000 करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी दिल्ली में, पटना में, लखनऊ में, चंडीगढ़ में, मुंबई में अपने नाम कर लिया, यंग इंडिया लिमिटेड में, जिसमें 76% शेयर राहुल जी और सोनिया जी का है। बाकी स्वर्गीय जो छत्तीसगढ़ के नेता थे अब स्वर्गवासी हो गए, और पूरा नेशनल का शेयर खरीद लिया।
ये जो पैनिक रिएक्शन इन्होंने किया है नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, इससे सबसे ज्यादा फायदा मिलेगा विपक्ष को। ये इन्होंने हमें हथियार पकड़ा दिया है। ये आप बात समझिए, ये मोदी जी पैनिक में आ गए कि बात निकल जाएगी, ये 20,000 करोड़ रुपए किसके हैं, डर गए, घबरा गए, इन्होंने पूरा सीक्वेंस शुरू कर दिया। ये विपक्ष को सबसे बड़ा इन्होंने हथियार दिया है।
ये जो कहा जा रहा है उनको फंसाने की कोशिश की गई है, इसका आज की घटना अडानी प्रकरण से कोई मतलब नहीं है। क्या नाखून कटाकर शहीद होने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? हमारा स्पष्ट आरोप है, जानबूझकर यह नहीं किया गया ताकि कर्नाटक के चुनाव में राहुल गांधी के प्रकरण को भुनाया जाए।
Well, that's the story playing out for you. Those are the political voices that continue to come through the day. And this story is far from over. It has just begun. To tell you more about what to expect from the Congress party as far as their political strategy is concerned, joining us on the broadcast is our senior editor, Pallavi. Pallavi, what is your sense after that press conference and all combative Rahul Gandhi, putting out this aggressive front and saying, I'm not scared of anyone? What is this political strategy of Congress party? Because they will have to sustain this momentum. It's not just about holding one press conference.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's also going to remain a challenge really for the Congress party, where they're going to be able to sustain those kind of protests and the build-up they want to do, not just for the BJP state elections, but also for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow, for example, they're going to be having a satyagraha at the national capital at Rajghat, and similar kind of a protest across the country. They also want to top it up with a mega rally, which is called Delhi Chalo Rally. But will that be enough? Is that enough to enthuse the cadre? Because I think the biggest problem for the Congress at this point of time is that the cadre is not enthused, the morale is low, and it really desperately needs to win elections. So the real litmus test is going to be the Karnataka electoral results, because that's the first one coming up. If the Congress party manages to win those elections, it's going to be a huge boost to the morale of the cadre, to the party leaders, and also it's going to strengthen Rahul Gandhi's arguments that indeed the central government is corrupt. So he's going to use that narrative successfully for 2024 elections as well. But if they lose the elections, then in a sense all is over, almost over, and it's going to be a huge setback to the kind of narrative which is being pushed in by Rahul Gandhi as he did at the press conference today.
Pallavi, before I let you go, this entire narrative by the BJP that this is anti-OBC, does the Congress party realize that it's a double-edged sword? They can say that, this is all nonsense and it's not true and there are no substantial basis to this. But more importantly, this is a narrative that the BJP is putting forward very aggressively, something that the Congress party should be cautious about.
Well, I mean, not many people would have noticed it, but look at the people who were flanking Rahul Gandhi when he was doing the press conference.
Yeah.
And who are the ones who are being put out to defend Rahul Gandhi? On one side was Ashok Gehlot. On the other side was, of course, Bhupesh Baghel. Both of them belonging to a backward community. And both of them actually strongly defending Rahul Gandhi and the entire narrative. When I spoke to Mr. Baghel, he told me that tell me which backward caste has Dalit Modi or Nirav Modi coming from. So it's not that the Congress party doesn't understand the importance of the OBC factor being raised by the BJP. Yes, BJP wants to get a stronger hold on the OBC vote bank, but so does the Congress party. And therefore, they are trying to keep all the caste combinations correct in terms of pitching forward those cases of the Congress party who
Yeah.
are OBCs, backwards, that is all the Dalits.
Thank you, Pallavi, for getting us all the details on that story. All eyes on what happens in the days to come. Joining us on the broadcast is Shazia Almi of the BJP. We also have Mr. Charan Singh Sapra of the Congress Party, Mr. Kapil Sankla, who's a senior lawyer at the Supreme Court of India, and Mr. Tausif Ahmed Khan, advocate and analyst. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining us. Shazia ji, coming to you first, it was an all-out attack by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And in many ways, he reiterated that argument that it was earlier made by Abhishek Manu Singhvi, that institutions have been emasculated and technicalities of law have been used. The broader argument of the Congress party is democracy is under danger. And the entire opposition is supporting the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi on this.
So there's an inherent contradiction in what Rahul Gandhi spoke and speaks. And there is, consistency has not been his great virtue, to say the least. He said today, and I heard it clearly, that I respect the judiciary, the Supreme Court. At the same time, he denigrates the institutions of democracy. So isn't judiciary and the Supreme Court also institutions of democracy? Then let me go on and call out various other flaws and inconsistency in his argument, as well as the mere confusion, the sheer confusion in his head and what comes out. He also goes on to say that legally he doesn't want to challenge it and he doesn't know much about it. But the fact of the matter is that while he upholds the decision of the court, this has been done by Modi ji. And the speaker could not do anything about this. Now you tell me, I mean, if you knew anything basic, which I think you don't need to be a lawyer and also a smart one for that, that if you're found convicted, your disqualification is instantaneous and immediate, and that's what it amounts to. Now the fact of the matter is, he's disqualified. So there was no need to write letters to speaker and to also blame Modi ji. So clearly he does not respect any institution, and which is exactly why he went abroad and denigrated our institutions. But this is not about that. This is about all the wild charges he's made. I want to ask Rahul Gandhi a question. He's out on bail on National Herald issue. Can he also tell us how did 5 lakhs lead to 800 crores? How did that happen? Has he been able to answer that? And it's exactly for that he's facing serious charges and he's out on bail. As for this particular matter, it's defamation, criminal defamation matter in which he targets a community. Despite the fact that on an earlier matter, the Supreme Court had to get an unconditional apology for the slogan he went using in 2019, before 2019, on Rafale, Chaukidar, and we know what that is. But look at the defiance of this person. Either his stubbornness, either he knows or he doesn't know.
No,
either way, is it pardonable?
I want to take that point that if this is, Mr. Sapra, if this is some kind of emasculation of institutions, a line that has been taken by the Congress party, I fail to understand that why haven't you moved a court of law so far? Why isn't the same level of swiftness shown when Mr. Khera was, taken action against and you moved the Supreme Court and you got the relief that he deserved in law? Why hasn't the same kind of swiftness not been shown for the top leader of the Congress party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi?
See, Anusha, let me tell you that BJP had a perfect strategy to distract, to divert, and then go ahead with the disqualification. They had a planned strategy. Let me tell you the chronology of this thing. On February 7th, Shri Rahul Gandhi exposed the relation between Adani and Modi, the Modani relation in the parliament. Then on 16th February, Mr. Purnesh Modi goes to the court and he withdraws his stay application in Gujarat High Court. Thereafter, February 27th, this case proceeds, and on March 23rd, Shri Rahul Gandhi is convicted, and on March 24th,
he has been disqualified. See the chronology of the dates which I have given. I wish every case in this country should go in this lightning speed as the Rahul Gandhi case
I can narrate chronology.
One second. Mr. Sapra. With due respect. No, sir. You'll be given all the time. You'll be given all your time. Nobody is going to interject you.
Fair enough.
Mr. Sapra, one interjection.
Anusha, let me complete.
Mr. Sapra.
You never interjected the BJP spokesperson.
But sir, I didn't have a question for her. I have a question for you.
Please let me complete.
Please go ahead.
Let me complete.
Yeah.
Let me complete. Then you can ask me 100 questions.
Go ahead, sir.
I want to narrate a case of 2016 of the BJP MP. His name is Narang Kachadia, the Gujarat member parliament who was convicted. And he was not immediately disqualified like Rahul Gandhi ji is disqualified. He got time. He went to the High Court. In High Court, his appeal got rejected. Then he went to the Supreme Court, and there he had probably a settlement. So BJP member parliament, he gets time.
One second.
But whereas the Congress member parliament doesn't get time.
I have positive time here, and I have to streamline the discussion. You know, you can go on and say, look, the trial was vitiated. Look, the due process was not followed. Nobody is the judge here. No, this is not a court of law. We are discussing an issue. You need to go to a higher court and tell these facts to a higher court. Even if your argument is taken on the face value, for the sake of the argument that a BJP member was there and he was not, disbarred immediately or disqualified immediately, then law did not take its course, and that is not a precedent to be followed on Rahul Gandhi. If Mr. Gandhi or any leader of your party wants a relief, they need to go to the court. All the facts that you're stating in the public domain right now needs to be narrated to the Sessions Court, High Court, or even to the Supreme Court. And only then your arguments will stand. Why is it that there have been inordinate delays? Right. That's the question I've asked you, sir.
No. See, it can be an inordinate delay as per your assumptions, but
not
when
really,
we are talking about Shri Rahul Gandhi's case, we have to look at various legal aspects. Our legal luminaries and the legal heads, they are looking after it, and at the proper time it will
Mr. Sapra, the reason I am talking about these delays is because, Mr. Sankla, I want you to come in there. Mr. Sankla, I want you to come in there. I've seen judiciary and the Supreme Court and the High Courts work midnight, sometimes till 5 a.m. in the morning, mentionings being made at the residence of the judges, mentioning being made early morning and seeking an urgent hearing, getting a bail under Article 32. Why haven't been all these extraordinary provisions being resorted to? Is this also deliberate on the other side, on the side of the Congress party? And I'll let Mr. Sapra also speak on it, but Mr. Sankla first.
Let me just talk to you as a lawyer, because that's what I'm here for. The defense and the strategy of Mr. Gandhi seems to be a little surprising as far as a lawyer is concerned. Because at the first instance, when the case was filed against him, they did not challenge what he said or try to justify it. You see, there are judgments both ways. I mean, there's Subramaniam Swamy Saab's judgment, which says that under what circumstances defamation will follow. There's Khushbu's judgment and various other judgments, saying that when it is a definite body, and the definite body of people are affected, then defamation is good to go, so to say, right? But this wasn't argued. What was argued is that the judge at the first instance did not do a pre-inquiry under section 202. So what was basically argued was very fine law, rather than arguing on the factual matrix of it. And we all know that as far as criminal cases are concerned, you're supposed to appeal to the heart of the judge as well as the mind of the judge. You can't just bring a pure question of law and thrust it down the magistrate's throat, and that was sought to be done. Now here, what is being done again is, interestingly, and this is very interesting, is that the law is very clear as far as Article 102(1)(c) is concerned and Section 8(3) of the Representation of People Act is concerned. He will get disqualified because Section 8(4), which gave a time period of protection, has been taken away in terms of Supreme Court judgment Lily Thomas. Right? So in terms of Lily Thomas judgment, if somebody is punished for 2 years plus, he will get disqualified unless you go to an appellate court and get a protection. That protection has not been sought. Interestingly, many years back, an ordinance was being sought to be passed that Mr. Gandhi opposed himself, which wanted to circumvent Lily Thomas judgment. So now, if Lily Thomas judgment is good law, which it is, And
No.
8-4 is now said to be unconstitutional,
Yes,
giving
yes.
no right to an MP.
And
Therefore,
the
he
only
obviously
way
will get disqualified till he goes to the appeal.
and the only way he can secure his political future for the next 8 years is if he gets a stay on his conviction. The suspension of a sentence or any kind of bail
course.
is not enough. I have very limited time on the broadcast today. Tausif Ahmed Khan, coming to you as well. Do you think this entire controversy has set the opposition in some way in sync with each other? The Aam Aadmi Party, the TMC, all coming out to support Rahul Gandhi?
Well, this is an extension of what BJP has been doing with the opposition. BJP has left no stone unturned. We have seen all the opposition uniting and filing a petition in the Supreme Court about the misuse of the central investigative agencies. So, yes, in a way, it is an attack from the ruling dispensation against one of the principal opposition leader. You know, we may debate whether the Lily Thomas judgment is a good law or whether Supreme Court, we all know, we all know Supreme Court has time and again distinguished, has time and again ruled against their own ruling on the basis of the facts of the case. In this case, if we take a very holistic approach, we very clearly see that the complainant started the case in 2019, halted the case in 2022, and then again restarted the case. After 1 week, Rahul Gandhi started attacking Prime Minister on the question of corruption inside the parliament. What is the intent here? The judiciary cannot be so technical or cannot be blind to the facts of the case, where it is clearly seen that Rahul Gandhi is being silent or is being attacked, especially because he has started speaking about against the Prime Minister and his link with Adani inside the parliament. So, if the intent here is to silence, can the judiciary today allow a legal proceeding to be used as a weapon to silence the opposition is a very big question that the court will have to face. And therefore, whether the
law is broken,
I do believe, Tausif ji, I have limited time on the broadcast today, but I do believe that judiciary and institutions are there in this country to protect freedom of speech, including political speech in this country. Right. And if you think that a particular due process of law has been used to silence a particular individual, go to a higher court, appeal, and put all these arguments before a constitutional court, and the courts will give you the remedy. With that, I'm short of time. Thank you, Shazi Almi, Charan Singh Sapra, Kapil Sankla, and Tausif Ahmed Khan. Thank you all for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your views. Let's see what happens. As I earlier said, the fate of Rahul Gandhi shall be decided by the courts of this country. All else is political noise, and only once his conviction is stayed, he'll be back to business as one of the leaders of opposition and for the battle of 2024. Well, with that, it's a wrap. Thank you for watching.
Right now,